Hello everyone and welcome to the Captain's Video Blog. We are Tuesday, November the 15th, 2016. I have some trouble staying awake because holy shit, France versus the Ivory Coast. That was a pretty awful match. Honestly, did not expect to be that bored by this match. No, but I mean really, nil-nil. Goalless draw. Fucking amazing. I mean the two players that really stood out on this match were N'Golo Kante and Adrien Rabiot. So that I'm usually pretty clubbist. I will usually push for a player of Marseille to be in the national team because it's the kind of exposure they deserve. But then again, this season, the one player that was called last year was Lassana Diarra, and he started the season by being pretty shit now, let's be honest. And you could argue that Deschamps could have called Thauvin, but then again, how does Thauvin insert himself in Deschamps' system? Maybe he will figure it out, next year or for the World Cup. And then again, I'm not sure that we could actually clutch the World Cup qualification in another group than this one. And even in this group, it might be tough being first, because if you're second, you're possibly a trap of a playoff. So yeah, it's not time to get too complacent. It was the last match of the French national team of the year, and basically, ending on a pretty low note. Ooh. Combined with the fact that apparently I cannot sleep more than actually, now that I think about it, I slept for just about 8 hours last night. So I don't know. Maybe it's just because I didn't decide to get up and get out from my bed as soon as I woke up. I don't know. I'm really not sure. So yeah, as I said yesterday, I only watched the first hour of Raw live, and boy, did I not regret my decision of doing that. The whole show was pretty garbage. Like, there were 2 interesting segments, and they involved a lot of talking. The 2 pretty interesting segments were Brock Lesnar and Goldberg being in the ring at the same time, with Paul Heyman just talking shit, with a line of security men in a diagonal. That was really funny. Except at one point, Paul Heyman just pushed one too many button, and it completely threw Goldberg for a wild ride where he sent everyone flying except Lesnar. Interestingly enough, Goldberg seems in shape, maybe even more in shape than Brock Lesnar. So okay, I guess, what the fuck do I know? And the second segment that was pretty cool was the final segment, where there was the state of, not the state of the WWE Universe. That was another show, kind of a post show, where Daniel Bryan, you give him a microphone, you say it's live, he's gonna talk shit on Raw. He went so far, he even talked about Mick Foley's stint in TNA. That was, you just could feel Stephanie getting uncomfortable when he mentioned that, because she immediately tried to cut him off. He talked about Raw not giving enough chances to everyone, despite the fact that it's a 3-hour show. So basically, what I'm trying to get at is that Daniel Bryan, essentially, when he's live, he's an internet wrestling fan. That's essentially that. Not ASP, because ASP are desperately always trying to grasp at straws to defend WWE booking. More maybe, R squared circle, maybe woo a bit. I don't know. But really, he gets smirky. I mean, he even called Cesaro Claudio. Said that Cesaro and Zayn talked to him about wanting to jump ship to Smackdown. So yeah, which would be a pretty interesting thing. Cesaro lost his match. He was teaming up with Sheamus against Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns, and he lost despite the constant, state of Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens not getting well together. Yeah, that was weird. So yeah, no, I was talking about the final segment of Raw, which was really the commissioners and the general managers addressing the match at Survivor Series, which actually was a setup for a trap. Shane McMahon is in the team for Survivor Series, so Stephanie McMahon thought, if I take him out, what if I just did that? So she went and just called for the whole of Team Raw, except Daniel Bryan and Shane. They saw through that shit, so they came with the whole of Team SmackDown, who came through the crowd, which is really good. Like, you shouldn't have them come out from the ramp, because then you will have thought, yeah, but I mean, if they are here, coming from the same place as Team Raw, how was there not any brawl in backstage? No, they came through the crowd, pretty solid. And yeah, I mean, there was a lot of shit talking, because there are actually a lot of links between the Team Raw and SmackDown. Kevin Owens and Jericho are best friends, and there was Y2AJ at the beginning of the year. On one side Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. On the other side, it's Dean Ambrose, who now he's kind of buddies with James Ellsworth. And there's Braun Strowman and Bray Wyatt. Braun Strowman, I actually have to say, improved a lot. He improved at a faster rate than Roman Reigns, and it's pretty tough to admit that. Yeah. I mean, it's all degenerated into a brawl. Everyone had looked strong at one point or another, besides Braun Strowman, actually, because he got literally kicked, he got kicked so much by both Ambrose and Styles, that all Shane had to do was to clothesline him off the top rope. Having the two world championship, the two people who revolve around the world championship working together feels good for SmackDown. I mean, if the levels of momentum are to be respected, Raw are going to get the shit kicked out of them, because it's ended up with AJ Styles being thrown into Team SmackDown by Roman Reigns. So yeah, but it didn't start that well, the show. It started with the three teams on stage, and Stephanie McMahon announcing that tonight, kind of team building exercise, all the guys would be in matches, and sometimes against each other, which is really fucking dumb. How do you plan on having people trust each other when you make them fight together 1 week before. I guess it worked because Team Raw kind of rallied against the Blue Invasion. I don't know what that spells for tonight, though. It's supposed to be the Undertaker and the Cutting Edge on the 900th episode of Smackdown. But maybe there's going to be a little bit of a Raw invasion. I don't know. We'll see. So yeah. So I talked about Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens, who is extra cheeky, like he photobombed. Well, it's not really a photobomb. Well, he bombed, I guess. He video bombed the hard cam shot of Roman Reigns. Like Roman Reigns was looking all strong, and Kevin Owens just walked behind him, held the Universal title like that. He's just the best. Then there was Chris Jericho, Seth Rollins, and Braun Strowman in a 6-man tag against the New Day. What was there against the New Day? Yeah, and they won, despite the fact that Chris Jericho had on his team 2 people who don't like scarves. Like, how do you trust people who don't like scarves? I mean, I guess that Chris Jericho let it slide because he's the co-captain, and therefore he kind of, he can't afford to have that kind of dissension in the team. So he said, yeah, okay, sure. Also, Braun Strowman, he's a mountain of a man. So yeah, there were two single matches tonight. The first was Brian Kendrick just bullying Sin Cara because Sin Cara, he's a friend of Kalisto, so he's kind of seen as a traitor because the whole cruiserweight division could move to SmackDown, which is kind of dumb when you think about it. That Brian Kendrick would be opposed to that since he's a friend of Daniel Bryan, so maybe they would have a better treatment. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, he got bullied Sin Cara during the match, so much so that he lost by submission because of the bully choke. And the other was Bo Dallas versus Sami Zayn, because Bo Dallas felt like he was supposed to have the Intercontinental title match, which is obviously wrong. So yeah, Sami Zayn made a pretty quick work of Bo Dallas. Besides that, yeah, Sasha Banks and Charlotte, I mean, constant in fighting in their tag match against Nia Jax and Alicia Fox. They still won because sometimes it's just works that way. Just the big boot of Charlotte into the face of Nia Jax was. Yeah, and I mean, it must have hurt. And yeah, so Sasha just had to put on the bank statement on Alicia Fox. And then there was a 4-on-4 with Enzo and Cass, who constantly berated the Gallows and Anderson, and Gallows and Anderson just no-selling the mockery. And yeah, they fought against the Golden Truth and the Shining Stars. How are they supposed to go together? The Golden Truth and the Shining Stars, considering that the Shining Stars stole the Golden Truth spot in the 10-on-10 match. Kinda explains why they lost. Yeah. So yeah, it wasn't a very very interesting episode of Raw, to be really honest. Didn't feel at all like a go home show. Besides the final thing, I would have kind of liked if they had the tag team division of SmackDown and the women's division of SmackDown come out, just to confront their Raw opponents. But I guess you cannot have everything. I think there were other matches because there was just so many people. Bailey was on commentary during the women's match, so that's all for that. All the tag teams fought in matches. All the men fought in matches. So yeah, I mean, you could have sworn that uh, um, Teddy Long was at the helm of the show because of all the tag matches. But no, it was really just kind of hey, we have all those teams and they don't seem to get together, and we have 1 week and it's the final show before the pay-per-view. I guess that we're going to, team building exercise with everyone fighting against each other, I guess. So yeah, once again, Raw doesn't seem too poised to take it all, and just getting irritated gave me a little boost. So maybe I will, you know, maybe I will be up until Smackdown starts and until Smackdown ends, really, because judging by how it went yesterday, uh, with a match beginning literally at the top of the hour, with the entrances were before were some promo work with uh, the New Day being really lewd, like they were going to shove a horn into a sock. Like, no, you cannot do that on TV PG programming. That's dirty. Yeah. I stayed awake when I stayed I watched Raw until 3:15. Yeah. So essentially, if I'm still up at 3:15 during SmackDown, why not watching until the end of Talking Smack? Most of SmackDown has already passed, proportionally speaking, and Talking Smack is just 30 minutes of constant shit talking, like a wall of shit talking, especially done by Daniel Bryan. I wonder how he will handle, Renee Young being just so much on Monday nights. Like, it has to feel bad. Nah, maybe, I don't know. So yeah, basically that's that. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.